All right, what's happened, speculators? Let's fire up the Future Fanatic live stream for the afternoon of Tuesday. It is Tuesday, October 21st, 2025. Before I get started, I want to remind everybody of the risk disclosure and disclaimer. I have it up there on the screen. What's up, everybody? If you give me a 1 in the chat for picture and sound, I'd appreciate it. This presentation is going to be for educational purposes only. The opinions expressed are going to be those of the presenter the whole time. That's going to be me. And the most important thing is all trades presented should be considered hypothetical and should not be expected to be replicated in a live trading account. Speaking of hypothetical, I'm trading over here on Prop Shop for today, and also traded.
Modified.
I'm going to be doing the TradeDay giveaway. Closed. So those that are here early, you get a quick look at, boom, see that? Look. Okay, there you go. And because we're going to do the add it up and figure out what it is. And then over here, you can look at that real quick. Look at 1, 2, 3, boom. Okay, so that's it. My Kerpos is long gold here into, so we got it in, I'm just going to leave it on account in account number 1.
Position
just leave
closed.
1 account left here. I'm not using a copier. So here we go. So we'll leave that on there. What a day in gold, huh? Jeez, woo, yikes. So it's been a pretty rough session for me for weird reasons. Firstly, on a fundamental basis, not fundamental, on a true hedging basis, I bought 6 micro gold contracts this morning at 41.95. For those not following gold, it's trading 41.32s off the lows of the session of just below. I think the low today was, what was the low in gold today? 40.93s. So full $6,000 paper loss it was for a little bit. And I bought it because my girlfriend is in the jewelry business. Hey, baby, if you're watching the stream, say hello. And we've been talking for a while. She wanted to start hedging when it got above 4,000, and I certainly wasn't going to be doing it up at 4,400. Fortunately, on the speculative side, I made a lot of very, very good money on a 4,400 short calls and some other stuff I did last week. I think I talked about it on the stream. But now I'm the proud owner of six contracts that I'm holding in another account that is not too fun. But anyway, today what we're doing is trading these prop programs, and I am trading it from the long side. It's going to be a crapshoot how we probably quote unquote close. Remember, the gold market's closed 90 minutes ago around 12:30 Central Standard Time. So we'll just see how the close holds up here. I'll take you down here for a moment. I'm in the same position basically over here, and let me see here. I think. Down about $300 over here. Where's that account? I'm gonna have to. I don't have my setup the way I'd like it to be. Oh, there we go. So yeah, that got close to my DRB there. You know, I try to keep this account at 5,000. I took a withdrawal out of it, and in that account, I'm short the Dow and short the S&P, and I'm gonna look to get back into gold right here. For a third, and a third. Here we go. So back in gold on the long side. If you're first time joining the an actual hedger. She didn't have to make another purchase for a while, so I'm not too thrilled with this. She was concerned she was going to have some spec pieces, and she was going to have to, and you know, her fabricators and stuff, they don't know, so they usually tack $50 on top of spot, so you're really paying quite a bit if you have to go through that. Also, I'm going to be doing the TradeDay giveaway today, and full disclosure, I'm busted. And no excuse for it, but there is really an excuse. My platform, my environment like froze today for about 20, 30 minutes. I finally got it back up in the room. Took a little blue chew. I was ready to go. But what I'm going to do is something even cooler. For those that are paying attention to that TradeDay thing, I'm not going to spend $100 and reset the silly account for the competition. I'm going to buy 3 real accounts and trade those and follow along and do a little update on that. I have 10 days left to see what we can do with those real live accounts, but I'd rather use ones that we can actually use in the real world. it was just me and two other people that hadn't done any resets. So you either reset or fail. Don't do both. All right, coming back up here. I mean, don't reset. Just come into the real world. All right, I'm going to come in and actually buy another one here.
Order pending.
Now,
Order filled.
we don't really have an ad until you ready. The -2s are at 40.53s. Now, what have we been seeing in gold the last couple days is we saw flushes to the upside. Now, what could we see? Maybe to the downside, we'll see. Checking in with the S&P. Ooh, that's not good. Let's tighten this up. I haven't looked at this chart all day. There's the S&P. Hanging in here. Oh, you get to watch the whole day. There we go. I'm also going to be a seller up here at the +2s.
Order pending.
Excuse me, offer zone, not the +2s. Ah, this is annoying. No, I don't want that. Don't want that. Now you're getting way too much to look at. There we go. This is what I wanted. I want to be able to do this. So here we go. All right, so there's the Dow up there.
Order pending.
Order filled. Order submit. Order filled.
But let's come back to gold. got some gold from back when it was 35 an ounce. I love it. Well, again, I'll have a coupon for a $50,000 account, so it's good that I participated. But those in my tribe, if you will, sorry, I will not be competing for any of the prizes. I'm a failure. All right, question about my opinion on Thor. I have not used it for about a week. When I was testing it before, it was fantastic if you're using one series of rhythmic accounts. It worked really well. When I cross-traded across like Project X to DX Feed to, I did a couple cross. So the goal with the project of Thor, if you're not familiar with it, I did a video you can check right here on my channel. Just go down and look at my last interview with Leon Grimm, who's the CEO of Phoenix Trader Funding, and they're the folks behind Thor. So you can go check that out. And it's a platformless. In other words, it doesn't work specifically with any particular platform. It runs both in the cloud as well as there's a desktop and web version of it. And you can connect essentially every possible feed and combination of prop programs, which sounds amazing. But the challenge is if you try to connect too many things, I was having a whole bunch of trouble with it. But when I tested it essentially just to copy, for instance, rhythmic prop shop accounts, it worked fantastic. So it depends on what your use case is. I've held off on doing a full review of it too because I wanted to be fair to a certain amount of use cases that were reasonable. I would suggest that if you try to stitch together multiple feeds from multiple firms and then trade everything on Ninja or something like that, it's going to probably be problematic and you'll be yelling at it. The less involved you are with DX Feed or Rhythmic, the better. So if you're just copying from like Trade-Evate Ninja to Project X, that's a combination that I think works pretty well and has a good use case because for a while, Top Step has not allowed kind of any outside feeds anymore. They're just, a Project X shop. And I think they were down yesterday. They were down yesterday in conjunction with what was going on with the AWS outage. Yes, Netflix does report after the bell, so that's big enough to really move things around. So we could get some Nasdaq whippiness after the bell today. So we'll see what happens with we'll see what happens with that. This is my only position over here, I believe. Yeah. Oh no. I guess I got it in this
Order
account
filled.
too.
Position
So it should
closed.
just be. Yeah. Anyone who never started the wire-to-wire challenge over at Prop Shop, you've only had maybe 3 or 4 months to catch up and participate with me if you've never bought any Prop Shop accounts. I'm still on my first 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've had some of the direct accounts, and then I decided to go to just 3 direct, 2 50s that I'm always going through the evaluation, and then the first 500s that I bought. But I don't know if I'm ever really going to pass it. It looks like I have enough information about, obviously, Prop Shop's ability to pay. I know people are getting kind of pissed off at the changes in when and if you go live. My only answer to a lot of that is maybe expect even more changes from a variety of different firms. Choose and find the ones that you like, and just stick with them, diversify accordingly. Do you have any rules when trading correlated pairs like ES and Q with the same strategy? YM is obviously its own beast. It's its own beast today. I don't do a whole lot with correlations. There's a number of people in my group that do trade the NASDAQ and then like to watch the ES
Order filled.
as they trade the NASDAQ. I think that looking at that much data is just too much. There would have been a time in the past where I would have never just traded gold naked without looking at the dollar as well as the treasuries, but I don't even do that anymore. And of course today gold is its own beast as well, just being really liquidated pretty heavily, getting all of the speculators out there. Now all they got is just little old me, God dang it, holding on to now down $9,200. All right, baby. Well, we got a $9,200 loss, but you can go and buy gold. Or you don't have to buy gold because I already own it. So no really correlation things. But yeah, today was a bit of a whack day. You had the small caps down, and they are still down. You had MES and MNQ kind of meandering within range, and then you had the Dow just rocket to all-time highs. A little bit of a rotation. I mean, you can always look for reasons. The old man Dow, the boring Dow, I mean, while it still has things like Apple and Salesforce and stuff in it, so it's not really just a bunch of boring industrials. Of course, banks and Cat Tractor, and what's in the Dow. But when you have a liquidation event like you're seeing today in gold, I think you could see a lot of just money find a home, and there are a lot of algorithms that will just sort of bail, liquidate, or momentum short something, and then take the proceeds and roll them into something that is up on the day. It's really just a correlation kind of thing. And it can often just be a short-term thing. But I am short. I'm short the Dow from 47.80s. So off 100 points here on a 2-lot. If this gold breaks to a new low, I'll just cut it, which looks like it might do in a second here. I'll just hit the close button. We'll free up time. We've got another 40 minutes left to do things here. Here's the Dow over here on the left. What a significant double distribution in the Dow today. All right. So a question on taking or not taking certain levels. So I don't want to skirt these types of questions and things, but so much of it really depends on a lot of different factors. So I truly run the trade room for educational purposes to show a whole bunch of trades on a walk forward real-time basis using most of the time the prop programs. What I've started to do also is do whatever I can to really call out, okay, I've waited. Now I'm taking some live trades in my what I call tracking accounts, which are the Ninja and the Interactive Brokers and Tasty Trade. I now have some at plus 500 as well. So I hate to say this, but the short answer to the question is always it depends. But yes, the factors I'm looking for are, do we have 50% ATR? If we have 50% ATR, which we didn't have this morning on all the stock indices, the range was very, very narrow, okay? And then the NASDAQ and the MES ended up staying range bound, and the Dow just broke out today. So I could completely see how people might have got caught in a Dow trade that broke out there, but really the plus twos were not that meaningful today. So, but most of the time, if you come into my trade room, the afternoon's not, as I always say, these afternoons are not really a good example of opportunities to find many setups or many opportunities to trade here. But given what's going on with gold, this is the position I'll stay in today, because this is going to whip around today as it has been for the last couple of weeks, and this time to the downside. But here on the Dow Jones, I'm resting in order to sell 47,250s. Just pretty simple, right? It came up here into the offer zone. If you see what, you saw what happened today, right? It spiked up there. So all you really have to do is find ways to avoid this. I know it sounds easy after the fact. Well, how was I going to know what's going to happen when nothing else was? I get it. So sometimes you just have to hit the close button, you take your loss. But once this move is happening up here, this is what I define as situational fluency. Okay, this is happening. Let's say you're already short. This sucks, whatever. You have to just hit the close button and take your loss. But if you're not in this trade, right, this one right here, if you're not caught kind of in this, right? By the way, the tell here is right here as well, okay? You can put your own little, I'm not a huge fan of having all kinds of checklists and sticky notes and this, that, and the other, but once you've done this enough, you can decide for yourself, if you have a outside day up, as soon as it goes outside day up, maybe just close your position if we're talking mean reversion, right? Just this line right here is the prior session high. We get through 46,959, you just go boom, goodbye, no more. Now I don't care what the plus twos are. I don't care if I put a third standard deviation. It doesn't matter. I just have a rule for myself that I'm not going to trade when we go outside day up. And if you want to know a rule for mean reversion trading, that might be a rule that you want to implement. If you're outside the prior session's session to the upside, shorting is pretty treacherous. To the downside, outside day downs in stock indices will tend to be some good days to bottom fish, especially if the prior session's range was pretty expansive. If you have prior session range expansive, and now the sellers are coming in and pushing us in a bear continuation pattern below the prior session low, it makes for good longs to look at longs there. But again, let's say that you got kind of caught in this, you're stopped out, or you weren't involved. Let's say you weren't involved. Now, you wait for it to come back inside the bands, and then as soon as it comes back inside the bands, regardless of this slope here, the plus twos are a good sell. And as you can see, we never reach them again, I don't think, right? So the reason that I'm short the Dow Jones here is there hasn't been really an ability for us to get back above 250s yet and really make a play at it. So far, the plus ones have been fantastic opportunities to short there. Same look for the S&P too, although it didn't really get quite as crazy. It's not actually the same look. The distribution is completely different. This is a pretty beefy distribution for the S&P. And the S&P actually has provided some pretty good two-way action today. Yeah. So flat is a position, and there's a lot of ways that you can. Not everyone has the opportunity to watch the markets for 3-4 hours every day. So I understand you got to get in there and practice. And for every day that the Dow does something like it did today, you could have a day in which it just undulates perfectly. You catch 3 or 4 trades in both directions. You make your money. You're done. And if you always had a rule that you waited for the first 15 or 30 or 45 minutes of the cash session, you're going to miss a lot of stuff. You miss the opportunity to practice. It makes you look like a hero on a day like today, because if you missed or did not get involved in this short right here, as soon as it came back inside the bands, it's giving you some nice two-way action, probably with a little bit of a short lean, if you will. I don't use the word bias or whatever, but I would have a short lean here on pops. Okay, so it sounds like I talked past the close, and Tim, you already kind of got what we got going on here. All right, so again, my only position is just long one gold in one account. Pretty much done with all the rest. So far, it hasn't. I am going to put in a sell stop here just on a single.
Order pending.
Because if it starts to really collapse, I don't need to let it get away from me.
Order filled.
Actually going to take a loss there.
Order filled. Order filled. Order filled. Order filled. Order filled. Order filled.
All right, I'm going to take you back down here for a moment to a different series of accounts. So this is, there's no shortage of stuff that I have. This is, use your words, Rod. This is the futures desk. So I have accounts everywhere. And I don't know if there's the balance right there. Not that that matters, but just want to make sure you know I'm not hiding anything. So positive balance. The futures desk is a great firm, especially for beginners. Their account balances start at 0. So one account is up $1,600, the other's up $600. And the positions I'm in over here are short the S&P. And I'm going to target VWAP right here. So we can just watch this
Order
trade.
modified.
Well, maybe we get gold going up a little bit here.
Order submitted. Order filled.
All right. So this is where we all do this suck at S&P chant. There we go. Come on. What I'll often do is just
Order
take
modified.
it in one
Order
account.
filled. Position closed. Order modified.
I'm selling the
Order
offer
pending.
zone there, and I'll just let the other one, see if we can get the other one to the target. Remember, the only way you ever get to target is if you have inventory on. If you run a close buy stop, you'll never have inventory on for target, right? So will I let this come all the way back up and fill me up here? The answer is yes. Because remember, the benefit of having multiple accounts, this new world that we live in, is you can run multiple scenarios. And I've talked about this on other streams. Okay. Now, there's something to be said for copying everything consistently. So some people's brains work that way. But these are also great opportunities. If you have 3 accounts, put the same position on in terms of your entries and then work with different risk management. Or trade management, I should say, on each one, right? Take the profit in one of them. So in BP, I'm still in. And in VK, I still have I took the position off. By the way, we're getting gold, making a nice little move here. And by nice, I mean some move. All right, I'm going to lower my exposure here.
Order submitted. Order filled.
There we go. It's called a graceful exit. Overall, the position is slightly positive. Come on, gold. Let's go. Now up here, I will actually just run a much tighter sell stop on this and be done over here for the rest of the stream.
Order modified.
And just rebuy lows of session. Those are
Order
pretty close
pending.
to lows of session. Not exactly, but pretty close. A lot of people think that when someone's jumping around on the screens, they're hiding losers. No, 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 no. You can ask to see anything. I'm not hiding any losers. I'm not going to only the things that are profitable. That's not happening here. Let me show you some. These are all break even. In fact, I mean, this account 78. So for instance, if I just close this,
Order filled.
I don't know if you can see that on the screen, but I think that account's up about $2,400. And these are underwater a little bit. So I'll just look for some profit here.
Order submitted.
And meanwhile, we're just going to root for 2 more points to the downside in the S&P. Yeah, I really have nothing. I have nothing to hide. there's nothing to hide. All right. I'm going to close out this trade up here. Just hit the close button. Cancel. Close.
Order canceled. Order
And
filled.
go over
Position
here
closed.
to accounts. And take a quick look at that because you're going to need to add that up. Don't pause the screen. Don't pause the screen. Whatever. All right. And I'm going to go over here to orders, cancel these, cancel all orders.
Order canceled.
And now I'm done here. I'm done on this, but I am going to trade now a little bit of Bulanox. So again, nothing obstructed, positive green day for Bulanox. Let's see how this NASI closes because again we have Netflix after the bell, so that could move things around. All right, so we'll check in there if I end up doing any trades, and now we're just going to come down to the only positions I have, which are long gold from right around this price and short the S&P. If you never watched my stream before, the platforms that you're looking at are NinjaTrader and Tickblaze. We can also take a look at TradingView. I have the same setup set up for TradingView. So a question about whether I look for patterns. In my free course, which you can check out at my website here, the best place to sign up for the free course is right here. It's right here. Get started for free. Hey there, fellow speculators. My name is Rod. I have a small YouTube channel here called. So go ahead and check that out. Yeah, I heard, what is the point spread in the UCLA game? I heard Indiana's favored by like 3 touchdowns. Is that true? Is that true? By the way, in terms of transparency, here's all of my positions currently. Short Dow, short S&P, long gold. Same thing, I'm looking for the S&P to hit there and the Dow to hit here. I would have attached orders to the lines, but that's what froze my NinjaTrader this morning, was attaching orders to the line. Go gold. Ninja rolled out a new dashboard today. Just horrible. I know that anytime something new, you think, oh, I want to revert back to the, but did anyone look at the new Ninja dashboard today? It's awful. As much as I complain about this silliness, by the way, this is a withdrawal, not a loss. Withdrawal, not a loss. Today, this is a loss. Not to 4,500. I don't even know what's going on here. I don't know what in the world is going on here. But anyway, they launched a new dashboard. It's up here. Try the new dashboard. Are you ready? Let's look at the new dashboard. You ready? Come on. All right. I'm not making this up. Do you see what you see what this is? I wish I was making this up. Like, how about putting anything above the fold that's useful? Like anything above the fold useful? Maybe you would do that. I don't know. That's just me. I mean, what do I know? So you come down here. Now your positions are down here. Okay, fine. And then they have this thing. Now, I effed around with it for a while. View more. No, I don't want this. I want something that's tracking. Anyway, they trade evaded it a little bit, but they did it in a it's so bad. I don't even know how to get back to the other thing. Oh, here we go. All right. Well, anyway, I'm short the MES, long gold, and short the Dow. This thing is awful. I forgot how I get back to the one I want. How do I revert back? I want to revert back. Here we go. Switch to light mode. Let's do that. That still looks bad. By the way, this is the year 2025, right? 2025. with like just general user experience and design? Is this how you would design a dashboard? Jesus, so bad. All right, I'm switching back to the legacy. Going back to the legacy. As bad as it is, it's better than the other thing. All right, we're just going to sit here and wait for the S&P to hit VWAP. Ready? Come on. Let's root for VWAP. So what you can probably see here is I take the same trades in my tracking live accounts that I take in the prop accounts. Why not? That's how we're doing this, right? I have about 20,000 of live capital trading the TDG way. I look to make 5 to 10,000 per month. I know some of you are going to think that that sounds insane. It's not at all. It's $1,500 weeks ish, and that's with $500 daily risk budgets. My daily risk budget on the $10,000 accounts is $880, and my daily risk budget in this account, since these are small ones, is $300. Today, fortunately, I'm positive on the day. How do I move this over here? I guess I can't. Here, let me take my, oops, I don't want to do that. My head. Move my head down there. There we go. That way it's in the same position as it is over here. Come on. Let's go, gold.
Order filled. Order filled.
Do you think we can get to 5,000 today? Back to 5,000?
Order submitted.
I'm going to run a
Order
sell stop
submitted.
here. Six more minutes until we have market on close orders.
Order filled.
All right, get stopped out there. S&P is moving up, not down. Bummer. You think this would update in real time? No. Got to refresh the page. All right, let me see if missing any questions. Yeah, Indiana's minus 25.5. I didn't look if we have any injuries or whatever. That seems a little crazy.
Order submitted.
Is the 10K on Treasury? I don't know what that means. I don't have any Treasury positions on today. No. No Treasury positions. I had a pretty bad day at on Take Profit. Had good day in all of the Apex accounts, and I removed those, and then we're just come on, you guys
Order
aren't
failed.
rooting. You're not rooting hard enough for this to decline. I'm going to have to take those points. That line just, now that there was a lot of people on Penn State 24.5. That was back when we looked absolutely terrible before we fired our, when that was the second week after, but I think it was the second week of Baby Neuheisel calling the plays. Bitcoin had quite a wild day relative to gold. I can tell you that that 47 371s will be a manageable short today. I think we'll be all right. We'll be all right there. If you're just tuning in, I'm going to do a trade day giveaway. In honor of blowing up, I have no trade day account anymore. I will be at the very bottom at 146, but with no resets. And then to honor my commitment, I'm going to purchase 3 of them. I haven't had trade day accounts in quite a while, but I'm hearing good things about everything they've done. They allow you to have more than one account now, so I will buy 3 150s, and I'll add those to the arsenal of the Apex, Blue Sky, Bullinux, Earned Trade, Futures Funded Network, Interactive Brokers, Legends, NinjaTrader, My Funded Futures, Take Profit, Tick, Top Step, TPT, which is Take Profit, I guess that's a, and then we'll add it to Tradeify, Trade Funder, UProfit, and TradeDay. We will add TradeDay to the mix. I did notice a change over at Apex. I don't know if you guys did. I don't look into it. I don't complain or whatever. I got a bunch of my accounts to 155 100, and they used to say allow me to take out 2750, taking it down to 152 or 153-ish. But now the max withdrawal from those accounts was $500. So I was able to withdraw $8,000 less than I thought. So maybe that's not a good thing. But I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to look into it. If some of you know if there's been a change to the policy over there in terms of how much you can eat into your buffer, let me know. These are $150,000 accounts. It used to be you get to 55.1 and I could take 2,500. Actually 2,750, but I used to just take 2,500. Now, this time it said I can only take $500 out of each account. I'm not sure why. All right, there's a question. If your DRB is 250, what is your profit target? I don't have profit targets. I have an article on my blog called "The Power of Quitting." You guys might want to check that out. I put it in here all the time. Everything going the wrong way here into the close for me. So you can check out "The Power of Quitting" right here. All right, so right here. So don't have profit objectives for a day. Have daily risk budgets, which it sounds like you know that term. Have a DRB for the day. That's your undisputed. You're done. You can't hit that. Don't hit that. If you're hitting that literally more than once a week, you're probably just in a learning state and you technically are not there yet. You don't have the skills level. You should not hit it more than once a week. Eventually, you'll get down to 2 to 3 times a month where you hit or exceed your DRB. You might end up taking a lot of small R days, have some green days sprinkled in there. So start with your DRB. And then in terms of profit, your goal as a trader is to, as quickly as you can, and I know this might sound woo-woo, but it's not. It's just from screen time and skills development. You will begin to see a little bit of the matrix and understand when market conditions are appropriate for you to continue to trade the strategy and when they are not. So if you read that article, that might give you a good sense of when you shouldn't keep pushing, even if you haven't hit your DRB, right? If it was a struggle, you just got lucky on a trade. And we earn our luck sometimes, right? We could have tape bombs at any point. 2 Fridays ago, right? If you were just short when that tweet came out, you got very lucky. You know, you hit a huge move to the downside. So I would not be too concerned with profit objectives to the upside. On average, though, you cannot increase your DRB until such time as you have 3 to 5 days per month that you've exceeded your DRB. So if you have a $300 DRB, if you're really making progress, you're going to have 3 to 5 days in a month where you make more than $300. But again, the whole idea is to find out who you are in the markets as well. Not saying that you need to find a strategy that fits your personality, all that. That's just bullshit. Where's that fits my personality? Depends on which of the 4 personalities you're trying to get along with, right? But you do need to figure out as soon as possible which market conditions work well for what you're doing and which ones don't. Damn it, S&P. These closes. I'd be fine with it if gold would go up too. I love to talk about the Indiana UCLA game. That's been my I've threatened for a while in my trade room to turn my trade room into a just turn it into a sports book. Just come in and talk sports. All right, so the market on close orders came and went. Got the NASDAQ up into the offer zone. Oh, I need a little bit of this right here.
Order submit. Order filled. Order submitted. Order filled. Order filled. Order filled.
Do you dare be shorting the NASDAQ into the close before Netflix earnings? Yeah, it's a good personality to detest losing. I don't like it either. I'm definitely not thrilled that I have to endure holding a gold futures position for I'm not exactly sure why. I think I should have planned that trade a little bit better. Like, all right, If it screams higher, do I sell it and take the money, and then we say, okay, we have this money to buy gold at higher prices if it goes higher? Or if it goes down, what does that mean? Now we have $8,000 less in our household to buy the gold that we could have or might have bought at higher prices. I think my calling is speculation, not commodity hedging. When you take the Series 3 exam, that's half the exam. Is they ask you questions about if you were actually going to be providing advice to someone on how to hedge their treasury position, or a producer, an airline, how to hedge fuel or gasoline prices. Somehow I passed that test. I have no idea how, but I did manage to pass that test. I had a 3 and an 8 and a 7, all the numbers. 3, 6, 7, 8, I think. What's the Series 6 again? I definitely had an 8. And then the 63, 65, and I had one other options and swaps license. What do you think? I think you got to take it off.
Order submitted.
Reduce
Order
size
filled.
here. Reduce size.
Order filled.
Coming our way a little bit.
Order submit. Order filled.
There we go. I think Netflix is one that actually reports like immediately, I think. I'm not sure, but I think so. Come on, gold. Come on, gold. All right, I'm going to take you up to this screen real quick. I'm very lazy today, so we're just going to do it based on this. Some of you probably already cheated and looked at it for a second. So 1, 2, 3, boom. Add. This should be easy. This should be easy. Oh, shit, it's still there. Well, all right. Part of it's still there. All right, so what we're going to do is I'm going to take a screenshot of that. Don't cheat. That one's too easy. Actually, we got to make it more challenging. You got to
Order
add that
filled.
one,
Position
that one,
closed.
that one plus. Uh-oh. Go gold.
Order submitted.
All right, you guys are already guessing. Don't guess
filled.
because I'm going to add this other thing here too. So you got to add that plus this one. All right? Take a look at that. Okay? And that's it. All right, now I'm going to take us back down here. Augusto row 7. I think you already won once. If you've already won, you can't win again. If you've already won once, you cannot win again. I don't know if ChatGPT is going to be able to figure this out. All right.
Order filled.
We hit target there. All right. You guys got it. We got all of our answers coming in here.
Order filled. Order filled. Order filled. Order filled. Order filled. Order filled. Order filled.
I guess gold's doing okay up here. I'm going to sell the bid
Order
here.
filled.
Keep trying to buy it here. Keep your guesses coming in. I got to finish up some positions here. All right, let's grab this. The bummer is I was hoping I was going to be able, hope's not a strategy, but I was hoping I was going to be able to get this above 5,000, but I need the Dow to just tank here. Let's cancel all these orders, flatten all. All right, here we go. Image, email response, total P&L calculation. All right, I'm not going to cost them a Coke. All right, we're going to calculate it in those two images. All right, let's see if it does it correctly. All right, get your All right, let's go. Here we go. What you guys got? All right, we'll see. I don't even think it's going to do it correctly. Do you think it's going to do it correctly? It had problems with the
Order filled. Order filled. Order filled. Order filled.
Nice move lower in the MES.
Order canceled.
Dow Jones short here. Anyone short the Dow Jones? All right, let's see. $3,978.02. Now remember, today a lot of this is funny money because many of these, it doesn't matter. Who cares? We're just doing this to, I don't have to constantly explain myself. All right, chat, do your thing. Who won? Some of you were probably cheating. You guys are so close. So it's closest without going over. I see a 3,900. I see a 3,977. I think some of you cheated. Wow, Netflix down $78, huh? 6%. All right, I think some of you cheated. Yeah, I might have to invalidate today. Some of you got a little too close, but so far, Sarab Trader 39.77. I think he's the winner. There's no way anyone got. Did anyone get 39.78? I don't think so. Look at this thing patronizing me. So yeah, it's a tidy win, not fireworks, but definitely buy yourself lunch money. Patronizing thing. All right, 39.79. You went over. Now you put- no, the 39. Those 39 cents. All right. Now we have. All right, we're gonna give it to. All right. He's sucking up to me, claiming that he's gonna become a lifetime member. All right. Well, if you did violate the spirit of the rules, we'll give it to you this one time. All right, congratulations, Sarab Trader. You are the winner of $50,000 TradeDay account. Do your best to do better than me in the competition. What you're going to do is send an email to info@tradersdevgroup.com. info@tradersdevgroup.com. I have a typo in there. info@tradersdevgroup.com, and I'll send it to you. All right, good session, everybody. Congratulations to anyone who had a short in the NASI here, because that worked out. And the short S&P worked out. And it looks like I'm going to end my day down about $250, something like that. I'm just going to close this Dow right here.
Order filled.
Hit the close button.
Order canceled.
Yeah, I couldn't get quite back to 5,000, so down $259. Anyway, there you go. That's real trading right there in front of you. Maintain your DRB. Pretty hectic, wild day. Things were ripping all over the place. We made some money in the phone and money accounts, made some money in the prop accounts, and lost a little bit of money in the tracking account. No big deal. We'll see you at the next one. Stay green, trade like you mean it. Make sure you check out the ebook over there if you're not familiar with anything we got going on. Let me answer a couple quick questions I get frequently. Yes, you can do this on TradingView. I have these setups for TradingView. Then we have people in our community that have set up similar charts and the indicators on Quant Tower, Sierra, a bunch of other places. I don't support or trade on those platforms, but basically you can come in and figure this out on any platform that you want. I wouldn't recommend trading directly on Trade-Evate. The charts there are not all that great, but you can look at the visual price patterns and do your charting and analysis on TradingView if you want to do that, and execute trades over on TradingView if you want. All right, go gold. A little less sucky than it was before. We'll see you at the next one. Stay green, trade like you mean it. Thanks.
The market is closed.